All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless me here, talking about the end of an era, supposedly, and doing it in real time for a few real people out there just like you and just like me. So, 75-year-old Billy Joel supposedly is quitting his addiction to Madison Square Garden, at least on a monthly basis. Before I talk about Billy and Axel Rose last night, I have a few comments about this. Either I'm feeling really old or this is all getting stupid or both, probably both. But here's a band you should check out, Voltage. Plug it in. It's got some voltage, not to be confused with Voyage. Fortunes and Willows. This is some good music from Holland. Sounds a lot like Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, say, post the Full Moon Fever time period. Just some really great stuff. Great instrumentation, great guitar work, excellent songwriting. I like the vocals. I like all of it. I ordered this and got it in a couple of weeks and all the way from Holland, right? So thank you guys for sending this. I think I'm the only person in my neighborhood with a Voltage CD. I can pretty much guarantee it. So, speaking of high voltage or some voltage, Axel Rose covered Highway to Hell last night. This is weird how somebody shows up and they go off and do all these other, they don't do Billy Joel songs. They did You May Be Right together, which, by the way, is my favorite Billy Joel album. Comes from Glass Houses, which I used to just play over and over again. That was my favorite Billy Joel album, still is to this day. But anyway, Axel Rose comes out, and I'm going to have to get a thumbnail for this, looking a bit like Wayne Newton or something. He's got this sequined, sparkly jacket. He's got this, the neckline going down to about here on the shirt. It's very 70s crooner. Like, I've been a crooner for 50 years. It's very Engelbert Humperdinck. Sorry to use that. That name is a real name, in case you didn't know. My mom used to love Engelbert. Anyway, so Axl Rose joins Billy Joel on stage at the final show of a record 10-year residency. And everyone's talking, it's breaking records. It's amazing. I think Jimmy Kimmel was there, or somebody like that was there, introducing the whole thing and telling people how amazing everything is. And so I listened again to some of the audio from these videos that fans like to post, because the whole job of concert goers these days is to record it and then upload it to YouTube as quickly as possible. And this particular website that I was getting this story from had 3 tracks that they wanted to highlight. You May Be Right, Highway to Hell, and Live and Let Die. Now, I got to tell you, Live and Let Die was very painful. And I'm just saying, I mean, McCartney can't sing it anymore either. So you've got Axl with his voice. See, here's the deal about Axl Rose. I've never been a huge fan of Axl Rose. I will not deny the greatness of Appetite for Destruction and that little EP they put out immediately after that. That band was on top of the world. They were on fire. But then that fire went out almost as quickly as it started. Use Your Illusion 1 and 2, and then kind of just, that was it. Done. And I just feel really bummed out watching all this stuff, because we should have had another installment of classic rock. There should have been a new generation of classic rock, probably around the year 2000, I would say. Kind of restart the car. Like, okay, we went through this grunge thing. That's over. We went through this alternative pop thing. That's over. Can we just get back to, really good music? Can we bring the blues back into music? Can we bring the soul back into music? Nope. How about some melody? Nope. Can we just ditch the dark themes? Nope, can't do it. So here we are, like how many years later? I'm losing track. I mean, 25, 35, we're like 35 years later, and we're still just, I don't know. It's depends on when you look at what you look at as the end. I look at it right around when Billy Joel dropped his last full-length album. That was kind of it. He kind of knew, like, okay, I could see the writing on the wall. You know, I'm waiting for him to have Dave. Where's Dave Grohl? How come Dave Grohl didn't show up at this event? Just tie the whole thing together. This is the guy that helped ruin the music industry for all of the Billy Joel and Guns N' Roses types out there. And that's another thing. What does Billy Joel have in common with Axel Rose? Now, I know he had Brian Johnson show up, and I'll have to say this. I'm thinking that Axel probably did a better job than Brian Johnson. Although Brian Johnson at the time hadn't completely lost his singing skills. I don't think he had, and he only had to go out there and sing one or two songs, which, I mean, the AC/DC thing. I did a video on that, and that video kind of went viral, but I'm sorry. People, just listen to this and then be honest and say, yeah, this is really bad. And so these three songs, they're okay. They're respectable. But, you know, again, Live and Let Die, I get it. That was a cover that Guns N' Roses did. And, you know, it was okay when they did it. I will take the original way more every day and twice on Sundays over the Guns N' Roses redo. And look, I don't understand the whole Wayne Newton thing and him just kind of walking around the stage. It doesn't look right. He hasn't aged well. I know he's not as old as some other people, but at his current age, he's looking like a lounge singer, and his voice doesn't have any lounge capabilities. So, you know, Billy Joel could have had a lot of other guests on his supposed last night at MSG. He'll be back, though. That's the other scam. You know, I just did this video about the farewell tour scam, and this is probably the residency scam, because he'll be back, just not every month. So that'll make those tickets even more sought after. You know, I don't know how much longer any of these guys can go. The kind of music that Guns N' Roses created, that is really tough to do 30 plus years later. That's just, and you're that same person, right? Now, it could be worse. I've heard worse than Axl Rose, but I was never a big fan of his voice to begin with. So I come into this with a bias, and I don't know how to get out of that bias. I listen to this and I say, you know, Billy probably could have brought someone in to class up the joint a little bit. The fans seem to love it, though. And that's another thing. Has music become very arbitrary and androgynous, where you could just mix and match and put anything in there? Like, okay, Billy Joel and Blue Oyster Cult tonight. You know, it's just like, they're from Long Island. They could just make the ride over, and they could do Don't Fear the Reaper together. I'm sure Billy would love that. So maybe he should do that next time he's back in MSG. But as far as I'm concerned, it's just sad to see rock and roll diminished to this level. I mean, people made fun of Elvis in 1976 or whatever. You know, the fat Elvis, the lounge singer Elvis. Take a look at Axl Rose. This is the same template, except Elvis was a much better singer. Holy crap, Batman. I mean, it's not even in the same solar system. All right. I'm ranting about nothing at this point. It's good that Billy Joel had this long run. Billy doesn't sound too bad, although he's the guy who invented the phrase, you know, throwing the off-speed stuff vocally, and he's throwing a lot of off-speed curveballs and things that aren't going over the plate anymore, and people are paying top dollar because it's an experience, Dave. It's a show, Dave. Don't you want to be part of history? I was part of history back in the day. I went to all these concerts, and I have no regrets about seeing these people when they were in their prime, right? Most of these people I've seen, and it was great. And by the way, they recorded a lot of those things. So you could go back and listen to Billy Joel. You can go back and listen to Guns N' Roses live. You can go back and hear these people when they had all of their faculties, all right? Their vocal faculties. And in some cases, maybe some other faculties. Who knows? I mean, all these drugs couldn't have been, a good thing, especially 30, 40 years later. All right. Enough commentary. I know I tend to be a downer, right? But this is good. This is good stuff. Go listen to this. This will cleanse the palate. And even if you don't like this, I like it. And it's better. It's better than what I just listened to. This is a band called Voltage, Fortunes and Willows. They're from Holland. Sometimes you have to go outside the United States because a lot of these bands from other countries, they appreciated the golden era of classic rock here in the United States, whereas nobody seems to care anymore. And here's the thing. Any band that is trying to do this kind of music here in the States, they have no place for you to listen other than going to Spotify. And how are you going to find out about that? You're not going to know. They're just going to upload it, and a few of their fans locally will know about it, but you won't have a clue. So, yeah, this is the radio business and what it's come to. Radio used to do this job where they would play new material and you'd hear it and go, yeah, I want to buy that. So, yeah, I complain a lot. I'm sorry, folks, but I appreciate everybody who watches this channel. God bless you all. I know this is a crazy year. We're all in this together. I'm not telling you who to vote for, but I'm voting for the lower gas prices, the better economy, the lower inflation. Oh, the border. I'm wanting to see like the border completely shut down. Yeah. And so I'm voting for that. That's all I'm going to tell you. I'm not voting for someone who's just going to keep the status quo and keep things very expensive. It's been rough out there. I hate grocery shopping because I just keep avoiding things because I'm saying I don't want to pay that much for this. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at right now, and that could change. I'll let you know, but I'm pretty sure voting for the lesser of two evils, if you want to go there, is better. You have to look at it that way. And so there you go, folks. That's my philosophy. It's pragmatism. All right. I am totally done. Should have been done with this a long time ago. I'm sorry. And I apologize for another video. I'll be back, though. So if you enjoyed this, I'll be back. If not, then you don't have to watch the next one.